Hey there, welcome back to Elden Ring. Moving into Raya Lucaria here today, but I went and I was upgrading some weapons, and one of the first things I wanted to talk to was Dialos, because I saw he was in there since we met him out in the gatefront town stuff, right? So let's see what he has to say.
Ah, you again, is it? The recusants sent a lackey.
Oh?
Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did? I can scarcely believe it myself. Did they think me a fool? You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer. Then I only had to ask. The location of the recusant hideout. It's on Mount Gelmir.
Oh, Gelmir.
Off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. You'll rue the day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslo is told in blood, after all.
Okay. Interesting things to get from that, because, I mean, they sent somebody to recruit him, which is interesting. And then it's found in Mount Gelmir. Now, we know a little bit about Mount Gelmir from old Sir Gideon Ofnir, because he says that it was a site of the most horrific battles of the Shattering, where Rykard is at. And he, was known as, a blasphemer or something. And everybody was armed against him for some reason. So there's some messed up stuff there, and if there's recusants coming from there and they're killers, it seems fairly par for the course. But now we've got our glintstone key. We can take this across and start checking it out. Here we are. Wow, look at that place right over there. We open up and there's some crazy place right in front of us, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4 towery things up on a hill. Okay. Actually, it looks like bells. Look, they got bells up there. Like bell towers. Okay. Large building right there. A lift. Site of Grace. 2 seals. We know that there are 2 seals, actually, that go to different parts, right? So here we are. So one goes this way. One goes that way. All right. Now, if we run down this way and we start exploring, we will find something. You can see there is a glimmer of red right up there. And there's a tree, which is cool. Let's get the tree and then we'll touch that. Look at these statues in here too, actually. Huh. Oh, it's like it's a hooded woman up on a pedestal. Okay. Oh, look how this, under the castle, it's hollowed out. That's pretty crazy looking, dude. Let's see. Be summoned to assist Yura, Hunter of Bloody Fingers. Oh, it's Yura again. It's been a while since we've seen him. Oh, we're red. Weird. Defeat Bloody Finger Raven Mount Assassin. Alright. There he is. That's Yura there. Oh, look at that dude go. Okay. Get him, Yura. Oh, we could have had a sweet old combo. Nice, blood loss. Oh, come on. Nice. Got him good. He's all robed the clothes, so it's hard to see clearly there because we didn't get a long look at it. But he had a big cloak thing over his shoulders and stuff. But underneath that, it looked a lot like the bandit garb. I mean, if he's an assassin, he prestige classed up. He went from bandit to assassin. Oh. And we got an Ash of War for that. Raptor in the Mists. Let's see what Yura has to say. He's a little out of breath.
Oh, it's you. Thanks for your help there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The bloody finger was a thorn in my side. And now I'm finally rid of him. Here's a token of thanks. Please.
Smithing Stone 5's cool. Keep hitting the wrong button.
I'm dying to see you.
Eleonora.
Violet Bloody Finger.
Huh.
Yes, I've been tracking Eleonora for quite some time. She is the deadliest of all Bloody Fingers. She's felled many an old hand already.
Okay.
In spite of her cessblood zealotry. is a proud knight. If she comes for you, do not think twice. You must flee.
All right.
There's no shame in self-preservation.
Sure. All right.
Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again, if fate permits.
Righto. Raptor of the Mists. Duck into a low stance, momentarily vanishing. If an enemy attacks, avian wings will allow for quick escape into the air. We saw him do that a little bit. Something I haven't noted is, like, looking at the map, you can see that, you know, we haven't been paying attention to the grace, like, guidance of grace anymore, really, like, on the map, because I've generally known what to do. But if you look, like, we've literally been following the path. Like, it put us up here to the lakeshore, to Laskiar Ruins, which took us way up here, and we couldn't immediately follow it from there, but we took a couple little breadcrumbs, right? And then put us right back up in here into the main academy gate. This other path is way overgrown. There are wolves all over the place, down the entire way. How do they get up and down the path? I have no idea. And this bridge must have been down for a long time, because there's straight up fully grown trees here. And then, of course, there's the merchant.
Well, it's been a day. How can I?
There's the Fanged and Bashes. We could have started with that. Trina's Lily, Eye of Yellow, Stone Sword Key, Bever's Cookbook. Trina's Arrows, Blue Cloth Cowl. Cowl of a nomadic warrior. The blue color of its fabric symbolizes brisk waters, as fluid and flowing as a sword in the hand of its wearer. Just as still waters turn foul, stagnation leads to decay. Warriors must remain ever drifting. Now, blue is... That's a big howl. It's familiar to us because of the blue cloth talisman with the blue fairy, right? Who bestowed a flowing sword to a blind swordsman and a blue cloth vest. Now, an interesting thing, right? How these are talking about water and movement and how stagnation leads to decay. You know, we went to Seafra River, which means fairy. So, yeah, like how it talks about brisk waters need to be fluid and flowing. So, you know, interesting connections there between, like, this warrior armor, the blue fairy, and Seafra River. And there's these meteor bolts. Look how the bolt is. It's like a twined thing with a glow, and see, it's got that little bits coming off of it. Is like starlight, I would say. Enchanted work of craft made in tandem with the full moon crossbow. Oh, so maybe not starlight, but moonlight. The tip is embedded with glintstone. Like a shooting star, these bolts leave a beautiful trail when fired, deals magic damage. So it is also like a star, so full moon and starlight and stuff. So, you know, meteorological things, or astrological. Now down the rest of the way, we can see there is the gate front we initially touched on to teleport, which makes us think that there should be another one somewhere over here maybe that would have teleported us up here as well. But there's a guy hanging right there. He thinks he's all sneaky. We fought a guy like that before. It was the Bloodhound Knight Darrowell, who Blythe was super interested in catching. So maybe there are multiple Bloodhound Knights. Strip of white flesh. Hey, bud, come on down. Oops. Can I hit him? He also has some kind of emblem on his cloak. Can't really tell. His armor's super cool, though. Big beak-like. Look at the leg guards. They're backwards. See how on his shins? Look at that. He's got front cover for his thighs, and then he gets to his shin. And the armor's on the opposite side. Which kind of makes sense if you think about how he's like crouched on the ground. I already forgot what I just picked up. Let's take this elevator up. It's got a little star symbol in the center, or a sun actually. Which maybe, right, there's the Icewind axe we picked up, which was a gift from Castle Sol, meaning Castle Sun, huh? And there's all kinds of cages around here. Bunches of them. Little cages. Bird cages. Knights of the Cuckoo, right? Oh yeah, and you can see them right there, look. Little birds. Super cool. Easy to miss. Easy to not know that they're there. Man, look at that. This one's super cool. And it's all like we were totally in the day, right? And it's all blue light shrouded. It's like a night period. There's also kinds of weird sounds too, but look, there's some sorcerers, glintstone sorcerers. What is that noise? All right, lots of blood here. We need to close the distance quick, because you can get caught in an absolute blender of non-stop spells, and you will never get out, and you'll just die like all those poor little bastards down there on the bridge or the steps. I should probably go back to using my freaking axe, because it's much more upgraded than the Morning Star right now, but I really wanted to use the Morning Star. Ooh, look at that. This reminds me of like a chapel, like you walk into a church, but there's all these bird things, which if these were filled with birds, this place would be friggin' disgusting. They'd be getting bird poop and feathers and feed all over the place. Huh. Oh, wait, hold on. Huh. There's an item up there. Can't tell. Oh, just fancy. All right. Oh, look at that dude. Oh, I think you all sneaky. Let's get rid of the friggin' wizard, because he's gonna be the dangerous one. Oh, I still didn't one-shot him. That's really annoying. Oh, look how he's like freaking out. Nice. Cuckoo glintstone. Cool. Huh. Let me grab something and we'll take a look at that. So this is read message. Offer head. Okay. Oh. Huh. Person looks sad. Reminds me of an hourglass. Like the way the whole setup is like an hourglass to me, but a sad person holding an orb reminds me of like a scrying orb or something. Here's our site of grace. Oh, and there's some portraits. All right. The faces look a lot like the glintstone crowns, right? But obviously no stones on them. Like the stones are made to look like these faces, maybe. So maybe these are the actual faces of some of the sorcerers. That place is also called Church of the Cuckoo. Hence why, you know, it looks like a church. Look at that big old water wheel. Now in here, there are a bunch of zombie dudes. Now, I've encountered them before, but this is the first time like I will have had it in a recording. Look how gnarly and nasty they are. And see the like white colorations on them? Reminds me of those sludge things we've encountered. Reminds me of the alabaster lord dude we fought on the beach. But this dude, these dudes are all completely hollowed out. And I don't know that these guys will do it, but some other ones that we find, they end up spewing like poisony, maggoty nastiness. And if these guys latch onto you, they will suck out your FP, your magic bar. Now, as we kind of like walk around this place, we look around, you can see there's places we can drop down. There's a path that will lead us right here as well, so we don't really need to drop down. Except if we look right here, there's another secret path, and we'll follow that for a second. And you can see right over there, somewhere, oh, hello. I thought I saw something over there. So following it all the way up, we find ourselves some of these dudes. Some of these soldiery guard things, and it's got marionette soldier ashes. So they're marionette soldiers, they're puppets. Which, I mean, lines up with like, what do they look like? They've got these like sewn joints. So they're puppets, they're puppet soldiers. Animated by magic, I can assume, right? And if we read it, it will tell us that spirits of marionette soldiers created to serve a sorcerer. These marionettes are archers, each equipped with a pair of bows. On the verge of falling apart, they are ill-disciplined and attack without warning. So it's curious though that like I'm assuming all these spirit ashes involve like the soul and the life of the creatures that we're summoning, right? How these are puppets, right? How are we summoning them, right? It's pretty strange. Now we can hear the beetle. That's a big dude there. We're gonna ignore him for a second. Oh, my game. I don't know. Oh Lord. Okay, everything's fine. It's a dog. We saw the beetle though. They totally put the beetle there to let us run into these dogs recklessly. All right, got him. Spectral Lance and Thin Beast Bones. Spectral Lance, a skill of the Headless Mausoleum Knights. Hurl a phantasmic spirit foes. I do like that one. It's actually pretty fun. I find it pretty fun. Now we see there's an item over here, so if we drop down, we can go check it out. We're gonna just kind of run by these guys because a lot of them tend to come back. We've got Carrion Knight Armor, very fancy looking. Now, something to note though, because it can be pretty easy to go like, oh yeah, these are like, you know, the Raya Lucaria guys, but they're not quite, right? Because with the spells, we know there are two different factions of knights that are kind of aligned with all this magic and sorcerers and stuff. We have the Knights of the Cuckoo, who are very specific to the sorcerers, like of Raya Lucaria, who, you know, served a contract, while the Raya Lucaria, or these Carrion Knights, are the enchanted knights of the Carrion royal family. So if we read the helmet, Helm of the Enchanted Knights that once served the Carrion royal family. The enchanted knights, anointed by the Lunar Queen, were all heroes of the highest honors, but fell into disarray with the decline of the royal family. Fancy armor though, super, super awesome drip. Alright, so very esteemed knights, but once the family apparently like fell apart, they kind of like fell apart as well, which is interesting. So what happened to the Carrion royal family? Which, I mean, that should be Renala, right? And she's here, so what's gone wrong with her? Come on. Oh no, my great shield. Bummer, dude. Gravity Well. So it's another gravity spell. So we see these guys coming out of purpley portals. They do gravity magic. We got gravitas. They pull us. They send these blue or purple projectiles that like pull us in. So what does this one say? Gravity Well. One of the glintstone sorceries that manipulates gravitational forces. So it's still a glintstone sorcery. Fires a projectile of condensed gravitational force. Those struck by it will be pulled toward the caster. A gravitational technique studied by the young Radagon. His master was an alabaster lord with skin of stone. So young Radagon. Radagon is, Gideon called him General Radagon. He said the Red Lion, I think, who fought millennia in the rot to a standstill in the rot-blighted lands of Caelid to the east, right? And so he studied gravity magic under an alabaster lord with skin of stone. Now we've met people, or, you know, we've met enemies with skins of stone. That would be like the miners. So are they related then? Now we could take this water wheel thing down. We are not going to take it down right now. That's a different journey for a different time. For right now, we're just going to get up here and finish this section. All right, coming to a big building, big old pileup of glintstone crystals. I had this like huge like dark crystal, like, I don't know, nostalgia blast something, right? And this is called the Schoolhouse Classroom. So, I mean, it's an academy, so yeah, there would have to be schoolhouses, right? And it's a classroom. Going up there, there's something up on there. It's a staff, it looks like. Oh, that's a magic guy. Oh, look at this, look at the body laying there. We've seen that before. We've seen something almost exactly the same. Get rid of this guy so we can focus. In the Wandering Mausoleum, it's the exact same, right? That crown thing over at the head, the body laying across the top of it, it's the same thing, except in the Wandering Mausoleum, the body is headless and it's a soulless demigod. Now, this person looks a lot like the statues we've seen kind of lining the place. Huh. So is there a connection between Raya Lucaria and these wandering mausoleums? I would almost say, like, maybe, you know, the magic of Raya Lucaria, like, that's something that helps to animate them. But I don't think that's true, because there's, like, the Mausoleum Knights, which are somehow, like, dead. They offered up their heads to follow and, like, protect the mausoleums in death. And then you had these skull things that were all around the legs of it, and as you break them down, and these, like, wisps of, like, I guess souls maybe is the same thing you see when you defeat skeletons and those who live in death. As those get broken down, that's when the wandering mausoleum stops wandering. And I had this thought that all these, like, skulls and things that are embedded on it are actually the heads of the mausoleum soldiers and mausoleum knights, it's because that's, like, they decapitate themselves, put the head on it, and that's where, like, they're bound to that place, because that's where their head is at. Now, speaking of them, this is a bit of a segue out of, like, us doing Raya Lucaria things, but I did get an ash of Ludel the Headless. I got it out in the Weeping Peninsula. It's just like a random dungeon, too. Nothing big, but it's a legendary one. It is a headless knight who leads the mausoleum soldiers. They wield a lance enrobed in death. Capital D. Important. Not a regular death, but death. And hurls spectral lances. We've got that Ash of War. We know it's from the Mausoleum Knights. She sacrificed her life so that in death, she could continue to protect a soulless demigod until their revival, earning her the hero's honor of Erdtree Burial. So because of her sacrifice, she got the Erdtree Burial. But you can revive the soulless demigod? Like, how is that supposed to work? And also, if she has, like, decapitated herself and bound herself to, you know, protect this wandering mausoleum, how the heck is she supposed to get the Erdtree Burial? Because the Erdtree Burial is supposed to, like, return one to the Erdtree. So I don't... Something seems a little disjointed there. We're going to go in hard here, because this can be a pretty gnarly fight as well. We got wild strikes on this bad boy. Never used it up to this point, right? I mean, I've used it before, but not in this playthrough. There's a jar. He's not friendly. Ooh, bummer. I am trapped in a corner. I do not like it. And there's somebody else casting spells. Oh, Lord. Let me out. Let me out. Oh. Whoop. 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 All right. Whew. This deal was you, I guess. Oh, he got over me. You can see the meat on the inside when we're, like, clipping through. Yeah, raw meat dumplings. Living jar shards. Goodbye. Hi. Got him. Whew. Yeah, that fight right there can be pretty rugged. Now, caught a glimpse of it as we walked by, but in one of the Seafra River ones, I talked about some basin-y thing where I found starlight, and that's the same thing there. Look how it's got those lines going down to it. We'll go up there and check it out in a second, but right over here, if we roll... Whoop, nope, it's a door. Never mind. I'm going to get ahead of myself. It's a door. We can't open it, though. So we got to go up here. So we are going to go up here. There's another one of those knights. I say knights. He's like a swordsman caster dude. He's different from the others, because the other ones are just like robed sorcerers, right? That dude had a sword and shield. Ow. Give me that health back, please. Ooh, it's that big picture right there. Okay. So there's more of that figure for statues. And yeah, look at that thing. I would say it's obviously important. Now, if these guys are like glintstone and they have stuff to do with the stars, it would make sense that they would have some kind of item, saying a receptacle to gather starlight. So maybe there's some tie-in between them and the Eternal City, maybe? Oh, and look, so two things right here. One, look right there. There's all these stone heads. And they're different, right? All pretty different. A bunch of the different kinds. Huh. And then right up above is a woman. There's only one person that could be, right? It has to be Renala, the Carrion Queen, the head of the Carrion or Raya Lucaria. Now this is an illusion. Why would there be an illusion? To hide things. Stuff that we don't want to know about. And again, it's I would say a big study, a library, more portraits of the sorcerers, and one with, Renala. So why is this one hidden, though? Comet. That seems like a pretty good spell. A stone sword key. Another one of those things. So what does Comet say? It fires a great magical comet. This sorcery can be cast repeatedly and while in motion. Charging enhances potency. The greatest of the Keralos Conspectus sorceries that only a few sorcerers have ever mastered. Now we know there are some different kinds of Conspectus things. So like they're all sorceries, they're all glintstone, right? But they seem to be from different schools almost, right? Because this one says Conspectus. If we go to the glintstone stars, this is the Olivinus Conspectus, which attracts sorcerers from Celia, town of sorcery. And we know that from here, the Ambushard, the Celian sorcerers, were assassins and said they often hunted their fellows. And then we've got this one. This is a sorcery of the Crystal Cadre, who studied the wisdom of stone, secrets locked in the faint cogitations of the Crystallians. So there's of course there's going to be different schools of thoughts, all branching under like the use of glintstone, but just have different ideas behind it, maybe different focuses. But the question is, why is this place sealed off? Like none of that seems really crazy. Like I don't see any reason that you would need to hide this stuff. Unless it was all to hide this part. Because there's a locked door. That's a jar, by the way. Goodbye, jar. There's a big old mass of those crystals again. Graven School Talisman. Alright, so we've heard Graven before, and there's a few things about it, because we've seen, when we talked to Tops, he said that she did, the Graven Witch. That was, the nickname she had. And then this has Graven School, but look at what it looks like. It's like those ball things that, were shooting off spells at us. It's depicting a school of Graven Mages, the nightmare of the Academy. Raises potency of sorceries. The primeval current is a forbidden tradition of glintstone sorcery. To those who cleave to its teachings, the act of collecting sorcerers to fashion them into the seeds of stars is but another path of scientific inquiry. So, Selen, right? Supposedly, she got expelled for doing things to certain sorcerers. And for those who are following this, if it's got she was known as a Graven Witch, and this is a Graven School, did she collect sorcerers and fashion them into the Seed of Stars? Which is all something to do with the primeval current. And so, what is the scientific inquiry into? Right? And then why is it a nightmare of the Academy? Because they worship, well, maybe not worship stars, they study it, and glintstone. So, some more questions to be had there. Look at that staff. That's super fancy. It almost looks like a sword in a way. Because it's almost got a hilt and crossguard. Pretty cool. Boss fight time. What's it going to be? Nobody knows. Let's use one of these. It's going to increase our stamina and strength. Oh, it's a wolf. Red Wolf of Radagon, looking up at something. I mean, okay, so Red Wolf is here because Radagon used to be here, right? Howie? Oh, I missed him. That sucks. Howie, please stop. I need to stop being kind of stupid with my counterattacks. I'm going to get hit. That was really unfortunate. I used a bunch of my, what's it called, earlier, dealing with those stupid sorcerers and the jar. Oh, god damn it. Alright, just fight the guy, man. Why am I playing so bad right now? Alright, let's go. Jump up. Oh my god. What is wrong with me right now? Alright, no more mistakes. Interesting. That sword doesn't go through my shield. Like I block all of the damage, and normally I'm only going to block all physical damage. So, like, is it physical damage then? That's very strange, because I assumed it was like magical, but it's also red, which is very strange for like a spell, right? Oh, I messed that up. Crap. You know what's bad too? There's not a Stake of America right there, which means I have to get all the way back here through all those sorcerers. Now, I've mentioned before too how like wolves seem to be kind of important. I mean, beasts in general are a fairly big part of the world, it seems. I mean, there's Blythe's a half-wolf. We've got the 3 lone wolves spirit. You know, we got wolves jumping out of the sky. You know, things like that. So Radagon has a wolf, which is kind of interesting. I have to wonder, like, why. Also, a red wolf, and we have seen something about a red before. That would be with Radagon, because I think it said the red lion, right? Memory stone. Nice. And he was looking up there. I wonder why he was looking up there. And that's like a whole big moon thing. That's really neat. There's all of the... Maybe these are heads of the source, like of the Academy. Because that's Renala, and there's all the other guys. But look who's next to her. It's a woman. That's the only other woman we've seen. Huh. He's got a dagger thing and a book. Candle, book. I mean, 2 of them together. Interesting. Huh. That would have to be selling, right? It has to be selling. Well, that is going to... Well, you know, we will do one tiny thing with this. Just to kind of close it out. So this is the debate parlor. Alright. So maybe... I almost feel like somebody would normally be there. What is that purple robe or drapery for? I don't even recognize that symbol as anything. Walking out here, we hug the right. Go right over here. Hop down. Up we go. Now we're all the way up here. We can jump through. Now we've got a good view of the moon. This is kind of where the wolf was looking up. Unless he was looking at the moon. He could have been doing that too, right? Poor dog's been trapped in here, maybe. There's an item. Crystal bud, which we'll take a look at too. We didn't look at any of them earlier when I was collecting them around the lake. But now there's a chest. Radagon Icon, and that sound effect and the coloration and stuff means this is a big deal. A legendary talisman depicting the Elden Lord Radagon shortens the casting time of sorceries and incantations. As a husband of Renala of Caria, the red-haired Radagon studied sorcery, and as a husband of Queen Marika, he studied incantations. Thus did the hero aspire to be complete. So the red-haired Radagon, I mean, he's very much red-haired there. He's depicted shirtless, which lines up with the statue we saw where he doesn't have shirts on there either. Some kind of necklace thing, a crown of sorts. But he studied sorceries and incantations. And he's also calls him a hero. Now, you see these words around quite a bit as you go through Elden Ring. And maybe, like, because I hadn't really played it in a while, you know, and I don't have, like, a concrete thing down, I feel like there is some distinction between heroes, champions, lords. Like, they've got all these big words, but they're all similar, but they're all different, right? So I'm curious to see, like, we'll get some more information. Maybe we can draw some more off of that. But I'd like to know, like, if you look at the talisman, right? He has growths, like plants, growing up and then like flowering. Now at that statue of him in the Church of Pilgrimage, there's also plants growing up and budding, and we've seen that before, that similar thing. We saw it in the Round Table Hold. There are statues of what look to be sort of tree sentinel like guys with like tree flower things growing up and sprouting and blooming, and we saw it in the Stormvale like throne room, where there's this like kind of old man looking dude, and he has like plant tree things growing up and blossoming and stuff. So interesting. And he's red haired, and that would kind of line up with the, you know, the red wolf. Yeah, but we'll call it there. That'll be the first part for Raya Lucaria. There are 2 more main things to do here. We've got some random exploring to do, and then we've got to complete the Academy. So there'll be 2 more videos to wrap up this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a pretty cool dungeon. I like this one a lot. I think it's very cool. Do I like it more than Stormvale? Maybe. The enemies are more annoying, I think, but overall I think it's very cool thematically and stuff. But thanks for watching again. Always appreciate it. I hope you guys found it interesting, you know, stuff to look at, enjoy, listen to, all that stuff. But until the next one, take care.